Hello, I'm Jose, and this is the Cinematic Dogma podcast. Today I'm joined by my good friend Blake.
Thank you, Jose. I'm happy to be here, but sad that I don't have a pun.
I'm also sad that I couldn't come up with anything. I mean, I tried to make them in the on the air, and that's the reason why there is always a very awkward pause before introducing you. And this time I draw a blank.
Yeah,
Completely.
nothing. I got
Yeah.
nothing.
Is this a foreshadowing about the conversation that we're going to have?
Maybe not the conversation, but maybe about the way that I felt about the film.
Okay. Let's not give it away yet. What did we watch this time?
We watched the 2025 new release, still in theaters, the Jay Roach film starring who? Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch and some SNL people. The Roses, based on the book The War of the Roses.
Yeah, I like the SNL people. It's almost like the way of filling up a cast nowadays is that just throw a couple of SNL people. Is that's fine. They just work anywhere.
And that feels like how much thought went into that.
Okay. Hey. So this was your pick. So why did you choose this movie?
I picked this movie because you have the biggest crush on Olivia Colman, and that has made
She's
me
amazing.
have a big crush on Olivia Colman. And when this trailer came out, I thought it looked like a lot of fun. I think Benedict Cumberbatch is fun in the right roles.
Yeah.
And that's it. The trailer looked like it was going to be funny, and Olivia Colman is in it, and she's funny. The end.
That's it. No more deep meaning, not about like the pedigree of the people. Besides the actors, it's like nothing else besides like the cast is promising, the trailer looks like fun.
That's it. Yeah. Olivia Colman sold me this movie.
All right. So before we get into if it was fun or not, let me summarize this.
Please do.
So as this is on the cinemas still out there, I am going to be very brief on the summary, and I will try not to spoil anything. I'm mostly focusing on the content of that fun-looking trailer. Okay. So the story follows a couple from UK. I assume that they are from London. I don't know if they ever specified that they are both from London, but they are definitely British. The couple is Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch, Ivy and Theo. Ivy is a chef and Theo is an architect. They meet each other in London and they move to Mendocino, to California, basically.
Do they
get married.
say in the film it's Mendocino?
Yeah. They say
I
like
never
in
caught that.
Yeah, they said in how do you say it? Like an overlaid, like messages, like reading on the screen. Benedict Cumberbatch is still like works an architect like 10 years later. I think that is like the time jump that they do. Is that 10 years later they have 2 kids. Olivia Colman Ivy is a stay-at-home mom, and she takes care of the kids. There is an incident that happens that changes the dynamics between them. So they swap roles. Olivia Colman starts like a career as a chef, like professional chef, and Benedict Cumberbatch, like basically his whole career goes down in flames because of something that happens. So the rest of the movie is basically the tension and the resentment building up, and how the kids are a bit on the crossfire, and ending up. Well, I won't give away like what happens, but it's more about like their story of from when they meet, they fall in love. Well, we miss that part of falling in love, but we see that they have love for each other and how falls apart. Ending up like with, as we saw in the trailer, like big battles between them, like big fights between them, even like with friends, with SNL friends.
SNL friends.
Basically. SNL friends, that everyone should have 1 or 2 of those. And I think that's it. I can go in more detail, but I think that it covers it. It covers at least like what we see on the trailers and the main notes. I won't give away like how it ends, but we see like very comedic scenes and also like very dramatic scenes where they try to process their feelings, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that's a great synopsis. I mean, basically, it turns a very, very intense divorce into a black comedy, or the proceedings of an intense divorce.
Yeah. So it's like basically the movie. It feels like what 1 hour and 40 minutes. I think that until 1 hour and 15 minutes, they are not even talking about a divorce. A divorce is more. The trailer gives you away that hey, these people are going towards a divorce. They basically don't respect each other anymore. But most of the movie is actually the build up towards that. So it focuses more on how a loving couple starts to disintegrate.
I agree with you to an extent, but the film starts out with the couple already broken and fighting in therapy. So it's not like.
Hey, so that is scene that is the opening, and it's like a 3 minutes of scenes. It plays out when it fits. It plays out again when it fits chronologically into the timeline that we're being presented.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a bit of a cheap resource about saying that, oh, they're going to a divorce. So okay, yeah, fine, we know that, but it's also we know it from the trailer. And then it's like we jump into a complete different story that is about like how they meet, how they're raising their kids, what happens, and how things like start falling apart. And then it's when we see again like that is scene like playing out. So yeah, did you like it?
I didn't. Until next time.
That was great. That was great, to the point.
No, I did have higher hopes for this film. I thought at the very least it would be entertaining to watch Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman have this witty repartee, like the intelligent insults back and forth with kind of an undercurrent of love and hatred. And I thought at the very least that would be fun. And I know that the writer wrote some of our favorite films of the last 5-10 years. But this just was subpar in almost everything. There were some good barbs, some good insults that made me laugh out loud, but like 2 or 3. And everything else was just kind of like, it was just trying so hard and it didn't quite land. And when I threw in the quote unquote SNL people, that's because it felt like a childish SNL skit every time they were on the screen, and it took away from it. And it felt half-baked, the entire thing.
Yeah, it felt like a draft of the movie. Is like every time that Andy Samberg and what was the other one?
Kate McKinnon
were on the screen, I was like, oh my god, this like one-tone joke that you keep repeating over and over and over. And someone maybe told you that it was going to be funny, but it doesn't work. My biggest problem is like I don't get the tone of this movie. Is that the trailer like just sold me on a movie that is only 20 minutes of that movie. Is that the rest of the movie is something different. Is that, so there is like a tonality mismatch that sometimes I just had the feeling of, am I watching a dark comedy? I'm watching a satire? I'm watching a drama? I'm watching a, what was it, Kramer versus Kramer? What the heck am I watching here? I was not sure. It's like, for me, it's like, hey, I love watching these two people. I think that the best thing on this movie is Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch, by far.
They do great with what they've been given. It's true.
Yeah, but it's like what they were given made no sense. Because I went to watch it with my boyfriend, and we spent a lot of time afterwards, like just talking about like, so who is the biggest asshole? Or who is at the wrong, who is at the right? And it's like, I understand that the script tries to play that. It's like, sometimes it's not about one person is the asshole. It's a bit more about like, you cannot communicate, or you don't have the tools, blah, blah, blah. And if you go too deep into this state, is that you cannot come back. And it's like, okay. But the trailer sold me something different. It sold me on something that is like, there's going to be like a lot of banter, a lot of insults, and a lot of back and forth between these actors. Like, no, it's those sequence in the house. The rest of the movie, it doesn't have to do anything with it. It's a build up to that, but it's not a build up that ends up in something rewarding. This is not a Bellatar movie.
I would argue that the director, Jay Roach, also didn't know what tone the film was supposed to be, and I have to blame him for this kind of like the film not knowing what it is, because the writer, he clearly can write some excellent, like darkly comedic things, like Poor Things, The Favorite. Yeah. So I'm blaming Jay Roach for this. But also, like, it felt very realistic watching this happy union kind of fall apart in a somewhat realistic way about how you can just kind of grow to hate someone that you've lived with for 15 years. Like, I get it. But
sure, but is it enjoyable to watch?
It was not.
It can feel realistic.
And they also end up both being absolutely, I mean, they're vile human beings, both of them. And it's like, I don't care about these people. It's not funny, and it's not that entertaining. So what is the point of this?
Yeah, I fully agree. I don't know if it's the script also was a bit weak, because it's adding the SNL folks here and the jokes that are written for them, they're a bit of a mess. I would have expected, what is his name? Tony McNamara? Like just editing it a bit down and saying that it's like, this is not adding anything. Probably if I need to grow this script, there may be like better ways of doing it. Then there is like a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. Like why Benedict Cumberbatch suddenly decides that it's like, hey, my kids, they're going to be professional athletes.
Yeah, they don't develop that at all. Like, it's not like he's an athlete, and then all of a sudden he's like an expert on nutrition. And it's like, wait, we didn't spend any time talking about this. None at all.
Absolutely not. It's like, it's a bit of a, this comes out of nowhere. It's almost like, hey, this is the first draft that you have your board where you're putting all of the pieces that they need to happen. You know, and it says that, oh, how can we justify this thing later? Is that, oh, we can justify it with this and this before. And then they forget. It's like, does it make sense? No, It doesn't. It only makes sense for the result, but not from the motivation.
Do you think that like an editor came in very late and they're like, we have to make some cuts and like cut some stuff out? Because like gaps like these, there's kind of a lot.
I have no idea, dude. I mean, did you read the book?
No, and I will not. Now.
What I heard is that the book and the original movie from the late 80s, I think, the book is from the early 80s, is that it's pretty different, let's just say. Is that they focus way much more only on the divorce. So most of the movie is the divorce. It's not so much about like, hey, we build up towards the divorce.
Did you hear about whether the tone is darker, more lighthearted?
So I don't know if I ever told you that I listen to NPR. So in Pop Culture Happy Hour, yes, let me tell you, before it disappears, in one of the podcasts that I listen, is that they were saying that they were pretty thankful that this family didn't have pets, as in the original movie.
Oh, so no.
Yeah. I think that they go way further into, it's not only the damage that they do to each other. Here is mostly emotional damage. Mostly. I will leave it there. In the other one, I think that is the physical damage with, like friendly fire, like around. Like just collateral damage, sorry.
I have to say, I was so annoyed in the film. At some point when, as we're building up towards the divorce, the kids just happen to get these scholarships, so they just move out at 13 years old and disappear. And it's like, wow, wasn't that convenient? It was so fucking obnoxious.
I'm going to be adding a spoiler before what you say, because I was like dancing around that. That's the part that I feel is that, oh, you need to justify that they're going to go away. So how we can do, a scholarship. What would be a scholarship that they can get like a 14 years old? Oh, like a sports, like athletics. Is that, so how we can actually get this? That is, oh my God. Is like, whenever I'm thinking about it, is like, this is a fucking draft. This is if you don't actually like close the cycle here, is that everything like falls apart and everything is like random elements that you're throwing here, like the SNL people. It's like, how do they even know those people? It's a bit of
Oh yeah, they don't bother explaining anything.
Nope.
And they hate their friends, but then they're like friends for like 10 years.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like pretty weird. And I really like Allison Janney. I think that probably that scene is probably the best. You know, about like,
It's very funny.
if I look into isolation, into just a single scene, is like this may be the best. And it's because Allison Janney does it amazing too.
I do have to say, I kind of forgot this, that on TikTok, they showed an advertisement for the film that showed part of Allison Janney's one scene. And I think that definitely helped me want to see the film, because I'll watch anything Allison Janney is in. Anything. She's so good.
Yeah, I always forget how good she is until I see her again. It's like, oh yeah, this woman can hold her weight easily. But yeah, I walk away with like, I don't know what I watched, and I don't even know why it was needed. Honestly,
I walked away honestly being confused how this project attracted such big talent. I don't understand. I mean, it must have been a paycheck.
Maybe, but it's one of those things that, let's just see. Imagine when you buy a house and you buy like a steel when it's being constructed, is that you buy them over the blueprints. You only see like the plan about like, hey, this is how it's going to look like. Just imagine how it's going to be like looking on the screen. And here I had the feeling that probably they attracted these folks with like, hey, is the director of comedies that they are like pretty popular. Bombshell too, it's like, so from the comedic perspective is that he's a beloved director. And then we have a screenwriter that it comes. Did he win an Oscar for Poor Things?
I don't know the answer to that. I hope he did.
He was nominated for 2 Oscars. No, he was nominated both for The Favourite and Poor Things. That they are like really good at scripts.
Yeah.
Really, really good at scripts, but he didn't win. So it's like, if you actually hear that pedigree, is that you're going to be like, oh wow, that's a interesting match of talents. I had a feeling that is like, first the script was weak, and then the director couldn't make anything to course correct this train wreck.
I wonder how much of this is just the struggle to adapt a book, but I mean, you can fix that. Like, the film is its own standing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Yeah. And do you have more spoilers?
I mean, the only thing I wanted to comment on that I didn't say clearly is that the fact that they turn into, like, they try to murder each other, like literally murder each other. That's the point where I was like, yeah, I don't care about any of them. They're just bad, gross people.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that when the movie starts, as you already saw the trailer, is that you already know that things are going to get like pretty vicious. So when you see that Olivia Colman's character is allergic to raspberries, and that they have an EpiPen around, is that you already know where this is going from that second.
Chekhov's gun.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just felt like, look, I had a hard time even believing that this was the director of some of the best, or like the writer of some of the best Yorgos Lanthimos movies.
It's weird. Something is weird. It's like the studio stepped in and said, you can't make the film you're going to make. You have to make something different. I don't know. This is strange.
Yeah, I feel like this is a failure. And actually, like, the ending is that all these kinds of, okay, 3 seconds ago, you were trying to murder each other, literally murder each other, and now everything's fine. So all of these miscommunications that you had over years is like, no, now is when you're going to say no, but I still love you, I always love you. It's like, okay, fine.
Yeah, it felt like if that's the way the book ends, the author clearly just didn't know how to wrap up the story, and he's like, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have to go more there, but say yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb. So I'm not going to be like blaming the original book. I haven't seen the previous movies or like the previous adaptation. This, for me, was unnecessary.
Yep, agreed. I could have happily skipped this, which makes me sad because watching Olivia Colman in almost anything is worth it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the only saving grace here is basically Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Even the witty insults they weren't that great. Like, they should have had the writers from Veep be on there. Like, those were good insults.
Yeah, maybe. But the funny thing is, like, there is a lot of insults in Poor Things and The Favorite. A lot.
Ugh, poor things.
A lot. And even, like, the ones that they are not direct insults, they're also insultingly funny. Like, what a beautiful writer. So I'm, like, pretty surprised that these fall so flat, and I'm a bit more concerned about, like, okay, Tony McNamara, I don't know if I want you to write more with Yorgos Lanthimos. This is a bit of a misstep. Let's just see what happens next.
Well, this is a lesson for me, just to do more research. Olivia Colman is not enough. She's not enough.
That's fair. Okay, no more spoilers
Nope.
at this point. Yeah, and I think that we already, like, how do you say, dismantling this movie enough. At this point, it's beating at that horse. Let's move into the questions, though. Would you watch The Roses again?
The answer is no. I paused because I was like, well, if I was anxious on a flight, I might put it on to distract myself. But no, I wouldn't.
No. For me, this is a once in a lifetime thing. Is that now my brain knows that it's like, are you sure that there is no better option to watch than this one? Are you really, really, really sure? And probably at that point, I could stare at a wall. And if I'm in a plane, it's like I could stare through the window, to the ground, whatever. I'm like, look, I already know what I'm getting myself into. I watch it once. It's fine. Would you recommend it?
Honestly, to my family in Idaho, probably. Yeah, like there's a segment that this is made for. I'm gonna be honest.
The funny thing is that I don't disagree. It may be like one of these. How do we call it? Like like the minimum
Lowest
denominator,
common denominator.
the lowest common denominator kind of thing about like, there is nothing to run. The only thing is that there are a couple of raunchy insults and jokes in the middle.
Yeah, that's true. I'm still going to put yes because this is kind of a middle of the road sort of. You could talk about this at a party and people might. My answer is yes. Just write yes and move on.
I already wrote yes. My answer is definitely no. I cannot think about any scenario where I would be like, oh my God, you know which movie you have to watch? The Roses. I'm sorry. No, not going to happen. Would you remember it?
I feel like the question in this case is, will you forget it? And the answer is no. It's not that complex. I'll probably remember this. Yes.
Okay. No, from that perspective, I agree with you. The problem is, like, if I were to see the trailer again, probably I would say, oh yes, I watched this. I remember watching this. So, but I won't remember that 80% of the movie is not about them fighting each other. It's just about misunderstandings and just building resentment. So I will remember a movie, but it won't be the right movie.
I'll probably forget Allison Janney was in it.
Oh, she's on the poster.
Oh, she is? Oh.
She is, but she's in a bit of a side that it almost feels like they added her, like, digitally afterwards.
What can we do to improve this? Oh, yeah, no, she's photoshopped in. I like how they put her a little off to the side, too.
Sadly. Yeah, I won't remember it. Is there anything artistic about it?
I'm going to say no. I mean, maybe the Olivia Colman and Benedict's performances, but it's just
I'm going
fine.
to go with no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
I'm going to go with no because like, they do a lot with what they are giving, but I would be shocked if they're nominated to anything.
It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah. I mean, sure. You say that almost makes it sound like Olivia Colman is the pig.
Yo, the script.
the other way
the
around.
Script is the
It's
pig.
So no, I agree. I don't think that there is anything artistic. Did you like the house?
Honestly, I felt like it should have been more beautiful for what they were trying to get across. I was fine, but I wasn't like blown away by, oh, he's an architectural genius.
It reminded me a bit of Big Little Lies. Nicole Kidman's house. Oh, you didn't watch that?
I watched like 2 or
recommended it to me.
3 episodes of the first season.
Gotcha. Yeah. It didn't feel anything special. I just felt like, okay, cool. This feels like you guys went to a random house. That was it.
It was as bland
felt
as the
like-
script.
Exactly. It was like the minimum common denominator about like, oh, this is a house that the most basic person can say, that, oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Because
there
it
you go.
plays it safe.
Yep.
Do you think that is a timeless piece?
That I will say yes to. I mean, marriages fall apart in the same way. Resentment builds in the same way over time, and this isn't rooted in a time.
No. I mean, there like some technology that gets shown a couple of times, iPhones and the likes, but I don't think that is that critical to the story. This story could have been shot in the 80s.
Yeah, well, you said the book was written in the early 80s. I feel like the story is as applicable in the early 80s as it is in 2025.
Yeah. So yeah, timeless. Would you turn it into a TV show?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I think that this is enough. And could this have been a short?
Honestly, it could have been a really smart short. 28 minutes. They could have put the best parts in. And yeah.
Removing the SNL people.
Yep. Yes, it could have been.
Yeah, I agree. There is a lot of build up, but it's not like a. It's interesting because it's a build up that it doesn't build on itself.
Right, and it's like it's building up. It doesn't even feel like it's building up. I don't know. It's like there's no momentum. It's building up towards something without momentum.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So I agree with you. This could have been a short, honestly, and I think that this actually connects to the last question. Do you think that this movie could have been better?
Yes.
Yes, that script and the directing, it could have been way better.
Yeah, 100%. It could have just made more sense. Also, the fact that they're just going to blame the architect, whatever. I'm not going to go back into
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Hey, let's score this pitch. And this was your pick. So I guess that I'm going to go first, and I'm going to give it a 5.5.
Ooh, that's generous. Mine is a 4.
Oh, wow. Okay. I say like 5.5 because at least when Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman were on the screen, is like I was not in pain.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I'm too harsh. But
I think that is fair too. You know, it's like it's given that it's a movie that we're never going to think about, and that we feel like it has be a demerit on everyone's involved career.
Yeah, no, this is less than an average movie. For me.
Yeah. For me, it's a bit a tiny bit above mediocrity, but it's not good.
What a disappointment. But thank you for going to the theater for me.
Of course.
One question, though. You said when I suggested we go see this, you said your boyfriend was interested. What did he think of it?
He liked it a bit more than I did. But then we started like talking a bit more about it. Is that we were both in a bit of maybe this wasn't as good as it could have been. You know, I think that I was more opinionated into this is just blatantly not good.
I'm trying to decide if I regret spending my afternoon in the theater. I mean, I almost never do, but I kind of wish I, had just done anything else.
Look, there is a question that we don't ask formally, but is this more interesting than anything else that you could be watching at the cinema? This is everything else.
Exactly. This represents everything else that's not interesting.
Yeah, I think that I told you sometimes that I no longer go to the cinema as much as I used to. Every time that I go, there is always one or two trailers that is who the fuck is this for? Who is actually just watching this movie and they're going to be oh my god, this bland piece of shit is what I want to watch. Is that this is what I felt about I'm watching the bland piece of shit. I fell for it.
Well, I did too. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much for putting up with us. Is that just probably stay away. Go to watch almost anything else on the cinema.
Anything else.
Yeah. Anything else to say, Blake?
That's it. Nope. Just feel free to skip this one.
Okay. Until next time.